Hey, what's up, everyone? So, by now, you've probably heard that the Spider-Man set is not going to be available in MTG Arena or MTG Online. And instead, they're going to be doing this through the Omen Paths thing where they change all of the artwork and the names for the set. But the cards will be available. It's just not going to look or sound like the Spider-Man set. And not only the Spider-Man set, but also all upcoming Marvel sets in the future. So, there was a lot of talk about speculation as to why that's the case. And it's probably likely to do with the licensing issues that they had with Disney and Marvel. And maybe because Marvel and Disney didn't want any competition with their Marvel Snap game or any of their digital games, that they're kind of just requiring Wizards of the Coast to only have their IP in physical cards. But what I want to talk about is what that's going to do to the price of the Spider-Man set, and not only Spider-Man set, but all Marvel sets going forward. Because I think that this will actually increase the price of the paper sets more than they normally would if the sets were also available in digital formats. And so here's my thinking is that if the set is available in digital format in its entirety with the names and the cards, people could enjoy these Spider-Man cards in a different way. They wouldn't have to buy the physical cards in order to play it. And so people will have to make a choice. Like, are they going to play both MTGA, MTGO, or MTGO and the paper cards? And while most people will likely do that, most people will play both, it's just going to be a headache. You'll have to get used to or remember two sets of artworks, two sets of names for the exact same card. While that's certainly doable, and I'm sure people will be able to do that, but it's just there's going to be some confusion in the beginning. Maybe less dedicated players are going to give up on that, and maybe some people might only focus on the digital online gaming cards and not play the physical cards at all. But my theory is that more people will want these physical cards, and because they cannot enjoy it or experience it online in a cheaper medium, they're going to spend more money buying the physical cards. And so what I think that's going to do to the price of the sealed products for Spider-Man and potentially the singles prices, I think that's going to make them go up. Now, obviously, I have no idea how much this is going to be, how much higher it's going to be than any normal set had it been available on MTGO or MTGA, because this has never happened before. But I think that it will be a little higher. And on top of that, there's also confirmation that there will not be a commander deck for Spider-Man. And as we all know, most people who play Magic the Gathering they play because of commander. That's the most popular format, and it's with the largest player base. And so my other theory is that because there are no commander decks, that will also add to the fact that the sealed Spider-Man products will be a little more expensive than they normally would be if it did have commander decks. And now we don't know if there's going to be commander decks for any upcoming Marvel sets. We do know that other Marvel sets are confirmed. We don't know what they are, and we don't know if they'll have commander decks, but we do know they will not be available in digital online. But so focusing on Spider-Man, because it will not be available in digital and it will not have a commander deck, that means that people still want to play commander. And so they're going to have to buy the play boosters or the collector boosters in order to get the cards they want, or the singles. Of course, you can buy the singles, and it's probably highly recommended in terms of just spending the least amount of money to get what you want, as opening packs can be considered gambling in some ways. But I still think that the lack of commander decks will cause more people to buy the play boosters and or the collector boosters. Obviously, again, I don't know by how much, but my theory is just that I think we are going to see a higher than normal buying demand for Spider-Man seal products. Now, of course, I don't think, even with this higher than normal demand, I don't think it's going to rival Final Fantasy. But we shall see, right? It's obviously possible, but I just don't think so, because we've already seen what Final Fantasy has done, and it just has blown every single expectation out of the water, and it continues to do so to this day. So I don't think Spider-Man is going to do that, but I do think it will have higher demand than what people are currently expecting, because we don't know the implications of this through the Omen Pass thing, the lack of the digital products, and also the lack of commander decks. So just my thought. And to end this video, we're just going to go really quickly through the pricing of Spider-Man to this date. Today is July 31st as of recording. Here's the article about through the Omen Pass, where they confirm that the upcoming Marvel sets will not be available on Arena or online. But they will be available, just not in with the IP. Different names, different art. Currently today, Spider-Man is sitting at $354. There was a big spike in sales recently when they, I think it was at like the San Diego Comic-Con when they debuted a lot of the cards, and they dropped the Collecting Spider-Man article. As it always does, right? Anytime they do something like that, there will be a spike in purchases and a spike in price. And I think maybe around a month or so before the pre-release, they will have like the stream event. They've done that for Final Fantasy. They've done that for Tarkir. I think they've done that for basically every single set, or almost every single set recently. And so I do expect them to do that again here. And as always happens when they do that, I expect another spike in demand and sales and another spike in price. I do think there's a very high possibility that the collector box will hit $1,000 by release day, which is wild, right? And it could go much higher. We don't really know, but I think we're underestimating the demand for the Spider-Man product, and the fact that through the Omen Pass and the lack of commander decks is attributing to that. And finally, the play boosters. Now, the play boosters are sitting at 185. This is actually dipped from earlier where they were at base 199, basically 200, which is really, really high. I mean, Final Fantasy in the pre-sale period was sitting at around 150, 160 for quite some time. The Spider-Man box started off at like 250, and it did have a big drop, but look, the lowest it ever got was 166. It never went below 166, at least on TCG Player, at least while it's been on here. And so, I know we're in this post Final Fantasy era. A lot of movement, a lot of new people, new stores into the Magic space, and that is certainly driving up the price of all these products. And then there's inflation, factor all that in. But it's just interesting because I think we have to be aware that the Spider-Man Play Booster boxes are, at least for the pricing, are higher and doing better, not in terms of sales volume, but doing better in terms of the price. Is a higher price than Final Fantasy was around the same time. So that's all I got to say. I think we're underestimating it. Of course, right, that TCG Player will very likely have a sale for Spider-Man, as they have done for many, many sets recently. The price will probably be, I don't know, 160 a box, maybe 155. And there's going to be like 1,000 boxes. And I think it's just going to sell out instantly, just like it did for Edge of Eternity, sold out instantly. Final Fantasy was available for a couple of hours, I believe. And I think that sale was it 145, which, looking back on that was an incredible deal. It's 145, I believe, with free shipping, and it coincided with a 10% like store credit for TCG Player. So that was really incredible. So perhaps Spider-Man might actually be 150, 155 for the sale. And if you're able to get it at that price, it wouldn't be too bad. If you've already pre-ordered, it might not be too bad. It seems like the tide is shifting, whereas in the past, you never buy pre-sale, you never buy pre-orders. Things are different now for Magic the Gathering. We should talk about that at some point. Others on YouTube have already discussed this a bit, but I think things are certainly different, at least for now. Now, will it stay this way forever? Probably not. We're gonna go back into a bear market, or things will reset to normal, right? But as of right now, for the short term foreseeable future, I think it also will apply to Avatar and even the set immediately after Avatar. That's pretty certain it will apply to those two sets. I think it's safe to say that you're probably better off buying pre-sale or pre-order for those sets just because of the demand and the price of everything from Magic lately. But if you do any pre-orders or pre-sale, make sure you buy from a reputable seller. Uh, Otherwise, it's very possible that your pre-orders will be canceled because the price of the box will have shot up quite a bit before release. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.